Alrighty then, welcome back everybody, welcome back. So today I actually wanted to do some, let's say I wanted to actually do some bits of work for a competition. And that is gonna be quite easy, to understand what I want to do. But first things first, we need to technically go and grab this one and then use that as our baseline on the line thickness and all that stuff. Then we're going to make a new one and we're going to be reusing this. So instead of the width being that long, it's going to be 220, 720. And then we're going to go by 228 if I'm correct for this. So now we actually have ourselves a nice little, piece of paper. It's not going to be a great piece of paper, don't get me wrong, but it's a piece of paper that we can use to create what I want to create on this. So by doing this, we have now this lovely little piece of paper, and I will tell you what I'm going to be aiming to go for here. So we need to technically make a schematic, but not a schematic like for a vehicle like a plane or an airplane, but but for a beast instead. But we're going to be using this to create what I want to create. I technically could go for the long one and then add that in there. You know what? Technically that would actually look a lot better, so why not? So let's just switch this around. Fuck it. We're not going to go for long. We're not going to go for long. We're going to go for low. Alright, so with that said, where did I place that? Oh, there it is. Here's the pencil. So with that said, we actually want to aim for a schematic. So first things first, we're going to be making sure that we have the schematic, workable. So first we're going to go for 5, I believe, for this line work, because I want to make it look like that. So let's see first what we have. We have this one. Oh, that is not great. I should definitely not make this in white. Alright, so first things first, we have a schematic. You can see that this is a little bit too thick already. As you can see, it's too thick of a line work to make it look nice, but we're first going to be making sure that we actually have the lines filled up, and that is the first bit that I need to do anyway. So this is going to be the long end of it all. So we're going to keep it like this. There we go, and there you go. Now we actually have a nice line work. Now we're going to be making sure that we have the line work again, and this time we're going to go for 3.0, I believe, for this to be right. Yeah. Alright. So the first thing that I need to want to do is actually create like a little bit of a effect on this, and then after that we're going to be able to go further, I believe. So with this, for instance, you can see that it has like a double line and all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to be aim for this and then add a new thing from this side to that side. So like that. So technically, if we want to do this right, we want to actually go here, make sure that we have this one, and then add that like so. There we go. So now we have the main, thing of how I want to do it. Now we are also going to be adding in some more stuff to it. So what I want to aim here is that I want to create sub places. So we're going to be first making sure that we have the places done. So I want to have information here. So I want to have information here. That's one of the bits that I want to have information. I even could go for like the sideways information if I want to, but information is going to be happening. So first things first, information is going to be here, then a second bit of information is going to be here. So there you go, second bit of information. So there you go, and then a third one of information is going to be here as well. So that's going to be like, height, length, or whatever that's going to be happening here. So with that said, we have now the information that I want, or well, the line work here for this bit. Now with that said, I also want to aim for, the other side. So we are making sure that we have a line work drawn in so that we have like one bit of there. So this is going to be a little bit to the side, like so. Yep. So now we have the midsection done. That's always great. So you can see as we can actually infill this up, but I don't. I want to not fill it up at all. And then we're going to be creating here, we're going to create that, we're going to here create the drawing. So let me just grab another color. So this bit is going to be the drawing. So here we're going to have the drawing, which is going to be like this big, probably. So this is going to be the drawing bit. So this is going to be the drawing bit. Then we're going to be aiming for the blue, dark blue. We're going to go for a little bit of a drawing here as well. This one is going to be the size drawing, so that you know what kind of size it is and how big it is compared to another person. So maybe here. And then there's going to be law on that side. So let's make some law on this side as well. So some law there, and then some law over here as well. Now that we have decided what kind of layout we want to go for, we're going to lower this down, and we're going to be redesigning this layout. So what I can now do is like look at it like how does this look like? If I have writing parts, we can actually use this, and then we can go for schematic kind of blueprints. Well, it's not fully workable, but yes. All right. So first things first, I want to keep up with the tree. That is one of the things that I want, and I want to make sure that we have this one right here done. So this is the first bit that I want, and I want to add in also the second bit of work around it. So this bit and then that, most likely. Yeah, that could work. But most likely it's going to be like this, and then this, and this, and that. So now we have the first bit done. Now we're going to be making sure that we have the second bit done. So we're going to be drawing over it again. And then afterwards we can actually, fix it or edit it if necessary. All right, so now we have these things there. So that's one bit done. Then we can actually draw lines if we want to, from this side to that side. So we can actually draw a line like this. That means I need to draw a little bit more thicker line. I believe 5 is already good enough, right? Most likely. So let's just draw a line. Well, these lines are going to be manual then. So technically I could go for this kind of line work to create what I want here. But then of course, we're going to be aiming to get this bit as well there. So let's just draw that out. Well, I need to first draw technically the other one as well. So this one is going to be grouped, so this is going to be merged, and then we're going to be able to do the next one. Yeah, that needs to be 3 again. There we go. Now we've done that, we can technically move it. Doesn't need to be moved. Then I'm gonna be drawing this again. So now we have done that part. Now we're gonna be going here. So now we have done that. We have now technically the first bit done. It's not looking, well, it's not fully workable now yet, but it will be eventually. So first things first, we're going to be making sure that this is merged. Then we're going to be adding in the bit on the top part. Yeah, that works. Alright, now we have done that. So let's merge it. And now we're going to add here further. So we can actually see like, alright. So if we want to do this, we can actually go from here to there. Oh. Let's save it, that's for sure. This is going to be multimedia, this is going to be these drawings. And then art contest. Let's go down and then type in blueprint. There you go. All right, now I have the blueprint part. Now we're gonna go aiming there, and then it should be fine. So with this set, technically it would then be well, not that problematic, but what I want to do aiming here is going to be very, well, gentle. So first things first, we're going to erase that, and we're going to be drawing again. And I'm not going to go for 3, I'm going to go for 5 on this. There you go. Nope, that is absolutely jagged, like so. Darn it. So now we have actually this, which is already a pretty good one to go for, but now we actually have like a little bit of a feeling towards where I want to aim with this, or how I want to do this. So now we have this, then we're gonna go here. Now we have that. That means I can now add some more stuff to this, clearly, because we do want to do that. So let's do that. Let's add some more ideas, but first we need to make sure that we have the last bits done. So first things first, we're going to make sure that the design is correct. merge it. So now we have this one, that one. So now we're going to be adding this into a group so that we all have all the stuff into one group. Merge with the layer below. And that's one group as well. Good. Now we're gonna go add a new one. That one is perfectly fine, so it doesn't need another one. This one requires one. There you go. Easy. Now that we've done that one, we can now move to this one. So merge this one with the layer below. Now we have that one as well. Now the last one, and then after that we actually can get to where I want to be with this. Now we have done that. Now we actually have the main. Now we have actually the main things done. We can now actually design like what kind of things do I want to go for, because clearly we already have the drawing here for the thing. So we can technically make a nice line work here, or we can just not make the line work here to create that book page. What I could do, however, is add a line from here to here. And one line from here to here. Ooh, that is actually quite cool. Alright, that means I need to do this on a different layer. So I'm just going to be drawing the lines here. Alright, so now that we've done that, we have done that. Then we can draw over here and then draw the line perfectly fine. Oh, for fuck's sake. How about removing this and then draw the tiny lines first? Oop. And this one. as suspected. That doesn't turn out great. But then again, I just need this to be like that, and then afterwards I can actually fix it later down the line. Okay, now that we have done that, we can actually get towards where I want to be with this. That we have like an idea of what I want with this. So now we have that, and now we can actually go here. So the first things first I want to do is actually add in a color for this all. It's gonna be casual. I could technically go for the blueprint effect of what I had beforehand, which was not in here. Text, and then in the speed drawings. I believe it's not in the speed drawings, it's in the, let's see. It's in the digit drawings, and then it is in the, no, that one. No. Big T, no. V-Bush, there you go. Open this one. That's one that we're going to be using. So we're going to be using this kind of schematic. And then you can see that, yes, not everything is the same, not everything is the right thing, but we now have what we want. So we can technically go here, make this like that, and make this like that, and then we have actually the whole done drawing. So what I want to aim for is first the color. So we're going to be aiming for the color over here. So first we're going to be adding in a color, because clearly we want to create the color that I want to be with this. So we're going to be first coloring this up by a silly color that is just blue. Whoop-de-daisy-do, it's blue. There's nothing going to be very difficult about it. Then we're going to be adding an effect to it as well. So we're going to be adding an effect to this layer, which is going to be light blue, right? Yeah, light blue. So it's going to be lighter blue and a different smush. And I need to figure out which kind of smush do I want for this. I want maybe this one. No, that's pretty cool, but not what I'm looking for. Maybe this. Ah, that looks like a smush. I like that. All right, so that's smush, and of course adding in the smush a bit here and there. So I'm going to be adding it a little bit there. And then add it a bit here, like, you know, there is a little bit of smush there. And then add a bit smush there. Now we have a smush. We could also add a darker smush to it as well, so that we can actually add some more nicer looking to it. So, you know, we're literally drawing it all with a sketchboard, you know, a little bit of a report file. But yeah. Then we're going to add in a blur tool, I believe. No, not that. No, I need more harder effects. So this should work, I believe. Is that good enough? Or do I want to keep it up and then move it around maybe? No, I need to make this, I need to keep this rough. Alright. So I need to keep it rough, which means we're gonna be keeping up with the thing that I had beforehand, which is this one, yes. And we're gonna keep it up with that. So now we have the main idea. Alright, now that we have the main idea, we have the highlights for it, now we're going to be adding in the line work. Which is a thick line, not a small line apparently. So let's see if I can do this, alright? It should not be that much of a detrimental. The main thing here is that I used it like that. So I used it like this. I drew a line like that. God damn it. Do I really need to zoom in for this? Really? Well, let's save it first. Let's save it first and then... Okay, save it first. Yes, good. And zoom in so that I can get towards it. Zoom in again so I can actually move it. There you go. Alright, so now we have ourselves the line. It's not fully workable, so we need to erase some bits here and there. What the hell? Alright, hold up. Oh no. Alright, now we have that done, right? Now we have the first bit done. So now we have the first line work done. Alright, cool. Right, it's not thick line right now. It is thick line, but not that thick line. Alright, fine. Then we're gonna be aiming to get towards this bit. Oh, then I need to make sure that I have this again. Yes, alright, so make sure that this is in a different line work. There you go. Okay, now we have done that. We can now technically move on. Uh, I probably want to fix this bit up so that it actually looks nice. Oh. Alright, now we have done that. We can actually go here, fix this bit up. Alright, now we have 2 lines done. So now I can get those lines back there. We can merge them together. And we can add a new one, which is this one. Alright, then we're gonna make sure that this bit is also filled. Alright, then we're gonna merge it. Bada bing, bada bong. And we're gonna go to this one. So we're now almost done with the main line work. Now we have the first bit done. So now we actually have something to work with. We have a nice little look to it. We even can technically use this already as a set piece, but it's missing some bits here and there that I want to actually add to it so that we actually have like a baseline for it. So the blueprint part is now almost complete. We are missing some bits here and there, and now we're gonna go to. So this is not the thing that I want, so we're going to be making sure that this is merged, and now we're going to go very, very difficult, very, very fast. So with that said, we want to make sure that we actually have a nice looking line work. So we're going to be drawing lines. That's 1, 2, and yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass to do properly. So let's just go first for this one. As you can see, it's going to be a very difficult line interface, but we should be able to get this one and that. We should be able to get this one, and this one out. So actually, we have like a work offline work. There you go. Yep. making sure that we have this part as well done. And then after that, we're going to be aiming to get ourselves towards the point where we want to be. Yes, this is not going to be looking pretty, but you know, we're going to aim for the prettiness. But first, we need to make sure that we have like a nice little roster. Now that we have a roster, so we now have a way of doing things, we have now a way of creating things, we can technically increase the size of this. So like we can choose how big we want this roster to be. So we can technically go for this one, or we can even make it tinier, so that you know we need to go further away. But I think if we want to go for this, I think we want to go for around this. This should be a good roster to go for. So this one. So it's a little bit zoomed in, but you know it's a good startup for the roster. So now we're going to be making sure that we have created the roster. Now we're going to be adding in the things. So first things first, we want to add in the line work for this. To do that, I need to go first, make sure that we actually have what I want. So I'm going to be making sure that this is on the line work. So on pace. Oh, that's not the one I need. This one? No, this one, right? Yeah, this one. Just put it back on the lines. There you go. It's not fully on lines, but you get the point. So first things first, I want to create a nice little effect. Like that. Because now we're actually creating the line work that we want. We could technically make sure that we have this in fully symmetry. So if I draw here, I draw then the one stripe, two stripes, and another one here. You can see that that is also represented in this place. Now we are going to be aiming to go here. So I think this is actually quite a good idea to do. There we go. And then we're going to go over here. Nice. So if I now remove this, we have this. So, but then again, we do want to have that tick line there. So I think if we want to do this perfectly fine, we need to draw the lines underneath it again. So we need to draw the tick line white, and then we need to add a little bit of a darker line underneath, so that actually creates the effect that I want to create. Because I do like this effect. I do like the effect that I have right now, which is the lines here, which we have. But of course, you know, we need to make sure that if I do this right, I need to make sure that I have that correctly placed. But that should not be a problem. We just need to make sure that we have everything that I want, and then after that, we're just casually gonna. Oh. there. So we're now getting towards the point where I want to be with this, so let's just make sure that is correct. There we go. Nice. And this bit needs to be fixed. So I need to move that whole line work towards here. So that we at least have, you know, a decent amount of lines that actually are the same. On, well, you know, line thickness at least. Alright, now we have that bit done. Now we're going to be going here. And we're going to be casually doing the same thing again. Boop, 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 boop. It's going to be a long time to do, but oh well. Alright, I forgot this bit. And this bit right here. And then we're gonna go aiming here. All right. Almost there. And we should be able to get already where I want to be with this. Alright, then we're going to be cancelling this out, and then we're going to be drawing the last line. Okay, now that we've done that, we can now cancel this one out. Now we have just a, well, you know, a line. Now we're gonna pick up that stupid color that we had before. So this bit right here. And we're gonna be using that to create the effect we had underneath it. But of course this time with a better look to it. So we're gonna go back to 9, I believe, for this. Yep. Then we're going to be going here. So I think 12 would be the better option here, right? Yeah, then I have one. Can do this in one stripe. Nice. And then maybe transparent a bit. Yeah, like that. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Just saving in just in case, and then we're gonna aim here for it. Look at the beauty. What's not to love about it? So yeah, as you can see, the blueprint is now almost done. Well, it's not fully done, but it's almost done. I can then add in stuff to it. So then I can add in things that I want to create. So then I can add these pictures or, you know, or words or letters to it, and then, you know, fill them up into this. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for, at least. There we go. Easy. And then we're gonna go here. That looks nice. Come on, work. There it is. Now I need to change it around and do this bit. Can I just do this like here and then go down? Ooh, that's even better actually. Hold up. That's even better. Why am I doing it like that? Why can't I not just do it like this? Ooh, that feels so good. Yep. We're just gonna make it like that happening. Ah, so close. So close. All right. No. Oh. That's better. So now we actually have the blueprint background done. So that's good. How much time? An hour. Nice. So yeah, now we have the background done. And then tomorrow, well, tomorrow, probably Monday, I will be fixing up the bits and pieces here. So we're gonna get the background bits done here and there so that we actually have the schematics fully done. And hopefully then we can actually start with the drawing part. So we're gonna be putting the drawing here, 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 and here. So we're gonna put a drawing here, there, and there. And then text over there, text over there, text over there, and text over there, and then it should be fine. All right. No further ado. I hope you all have enjoyed how I created the background, how I created the blueprint at least. Now, and then tomorrow I will get this fully completed. All right. I hope we'll see you all next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day, and